Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'll be going through the Swans mauling of the Western Bulldogs. I believe this was the Swans' highest ever score, and by quite a margin. Like, if I'm just going to go through it. Let me filter this so it's a lot easier. But I have a feeling this is their highest score by 20 or 30. 44, 32, 41, 50, 51 I think was their highest score. And then let me just check last year if it will... it's not allowing me to... Oh man, this annoying thing. 2022 season 7, let's just check. And then we go to teams. It is really being fidgety. But I'm pretty sure they haven't scored more than 51, which they scored. 44 was their highest in that season, I believe. Yeah, 44 was their highest in 2022. So for them to put up a, what did we say? A 96, which is 45 more points. I think that's that 51. And then their next highest, I believe, is a 44. So for them to put up basically their two highest scores in the same game, to beat the Bulldogs, who were a finals team last year. And I know the Bulldogs are smashed with injuries. They're not the side that they were last year, but I think it's really just shown the improvement of the Swans, and I'm pretty sure now they're locked out of being a bottom side. I'm pretty sure it's not possible for them to finish last. Yeah, it's not possible now for them to finish last, which is definitely a good thing. And they're actually in the shot with... in a shot to get into the 8. I don't think they will get into the 8. I think Moffat being out will cause chaos, or not chaos, but cause enough doubt that they won't get in, especially with the teams around them. But they're, 1.7% off 8th place, Collingwood, who plays today, and we'll see if they beat Geelong. And if they do beat Geelong, then that will obviously increase. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how the midfield for the Swans grow in the future. I mean, you've got Ham, Molloy, Gardiner, and Moffat there for at least 6 or so years, hopefully 7 years. Like Montana Ham had a breakout game this year, this game, and also we saw Molloy back to her very best. I mean, we've been calling for Molloy to do it for about 3 or 4 rounds now. Gardiner doing her usual thing, but then it was also the supporting cast, I guess, of Heads, Hurley. Who else here? Just looking. Hamilton Cynthia had a really good game. As we said, Montana Ham, and then even just everyone else just chipping in pretty much. So yeah, and then also to be fair, the Western Bulldogs girls, Blackburn and Lamb had pretty good games as well, putting up 30 and 24 touches respectively. So it was a really high scoring normal scoring fantasy game overall for the teams, but a really high scoring for the top end, sort of 5, 6, 7 girls. But anyway, before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here with what I'm talking about, 39 to 96, what's that, a 57-point margin. Their Swans' biggest win, obviously, is they hadn't scored 57 points in itself in a game, let alone won by 57. So a really, really just fantastic game. I'm really annoyed that I missed this, as I had some stuff on. But yeah, just a really, really high output game from them. You see... Blackburn 1-2-2, 33 and 9, and 3 free kicks 4. So she had a really good game. Like, that is a really good game on the surface. 43, 23, 12, 44. So a really, really high quality game, even in a losing effort. Lamb as well, pretty consistent. 69 at halftime, and then 15 and 24. So she just went off. 74% time on ground as well. So I don't know if that's a low or something, or whether she could have easily put up a 120 in herself. And then you've got here Pritchard 75, 21, 21, 10, and 23. So not the greatest effort, but I mean, it was the ruck contest was really weird and awkward because you had Smith, Hamilton, and even Cynthia Hamilton going in the ruck. What was going on in that game if Cynthia Hamilton was going in the ruck? Against Borg, who was in her debut, Pritchard, who I believe is a midfielder. Yeah, I don't want to look at any of the ruck contest clips because that would be... it just sucks that we didn't get to see Edmonds and Moffat play in this game because maybe they negate each other, but I think it would have been more interesting if you just seen the two of the top 5 ruckmen in the comp go at it, rather than Borg, who did well on debut, and I'll take the 41 fantasy points and some cash in there against sort of Smithy and Hamilton, the Hamilton girls. Pritchard, Georgie Stathis, Wilcox, Newton, Hartwig, Smith, Fitzgerald, Ferris, Gutneck, Bateman, Borg. Yeah, so really happy about that Borg, bring Borg in, and it's more so because I'm happy because I got this trade in, which looks, I will be so annoyed, so annoyed if this doesn't work. If somehow Wardlaw scores more than 168, I will be shocked. I'll be probably very annoyed because I could have easily done it with single. But I thought Wardlaw has a higher chance of just dropping a 40 rather than single dropping. I thought single would drop a 65 and she dropped a 68. So that was pretty consistent. But yeah, I was really happy with the Goldsworthy. But that was all because Borg got put into the game. I think Warney tweeted it out on Friday. Late afternoon, Borg got introduced to the game, and I was like, I am doing that trade now. That trade just opens it up, gives me some cash gen. Edmonds is out, so I knew that Borg would be the number one ruckman, and I don't know how long she's going to be the number one ruckman for, but if she's the number one ruckman for the next couple of weeks, there's some cash gen there, and that was basically the role that I wanted Karras to be able to play, and we got this 95k out of Karras, so now we move on. And there wasn't much else from the Western Bulldogs side, but still, I think they're just a shock to their system, honestly, at this point. And, yeah, really annoyed that Brown isn't getting the fantasy points that I wanted. If we look here at Brown, who was on 12 at quarter time, and that could have honestly been a massive game, but she just did 6 after quarter time, which sucks. But now we move on to the Sydney girls. And Chloe Molloy, well, if there's one thing you can say about Chloe that is a downside, is she is, her efficiency in front of goal isn't the greatest. But, I mean, she's kicked, 4, 6, 7, 9 goals, 5, 7, 9 goals, 11. So not terrible. I mean, you would like to be 11 goals, 9 rather than 9 goals, 11. But the way I think she had a record score involvement, 17 score involvements, and that was like 4 more than Brooke Lockhart in 2018 or whatever, and then 5 more than pretty much the rest of everyone else. So for her to do 4 more than the record is crazy. And off 28 touches in itself is absolutely ridiculous, and 11 marks, and she also kicked 3 goals, 4 in herself. And I know that that's 7 score. I'm guessing that's 7 of her 17 score involvements, but she still had 10 other score involvements outside of herself. So it was just a ridiculous game. If you look at the fantasy by quarter, she even slowed down. She decided not to play in the third with a 13. And then decided to just turn up in the last, I guess. I'll look at the actual stats of the game just to bring up her quarter by quarter, because it was just ridiculous. So if you look at the game and we look at the quarter by quarter, let me switch to the Swans here. So in the first quarter, she kicked 1 goal 3. Very inaccurate, but the funny thing is she could easily kick 6 goals 1 or something like that. But 1 goal 3, 8 touches, 3 marks, 2 tackles. Ridiculous output in that quarter. Second quarter, she kicked 2 goals straight from 6 touches, including 3 marks. In the third quarter, just decided to kick 1 behind and 4 touches, 4 kicks. And then in the last quarter, just had a lazy 10 touches, 5 marks, 5 kicks, and 5 handballs. So just a lazy 28 touches for a 137 is absolutely huge. 22, 20, and then 28 plus the 33, so 61 non-disposal points. So we're talking about, was it Conti with like 58 or whatever, and that was mostly through the marks and tackles. Obviously, the 3 goals, 4 from Molloy is probably not replicable every single game, but yeah, 61 out of 137 is around that 45% range, I believe, for non-disposal points, which is just a huge percentage. Gardiner, 33 touches, 2 and 8. And a goal as well to go for Gardiner. She's starting to kick a couple of goals. I believe, what is she at now? 2 goals for Gardiner now. But yeah, just really excited to see how this Swans midfield goes in the near future. And I guess that 134 is going to right the ship from her last round of 95. And yeah, so really happy about that. Really happy about the VC on a 134. And I mean, I wasn't going to VC Molloy, wasn't going to VC Goldsworthy, and Marinoff was the other one, so I lost 4 points in a VC, which isn't even that bad. So yeah, just really happy about Gardiner, the way she's played, and she's probably going to be, she should be all Australian, let's be real, but they'll probably they'll probably find a way to not put her in all Australian, even though the top 5 midfielders, let's be real, are probably going to be, if we look at just all, and I know that this is fantasy and not actual games like itself, but you have the best 5 midfielders, let's be honest, are Riddell, Rowbottom, Gardiner, Garner, and Marinoff. I guess you could to a certain extent put like someone on the wing, etc. But those are the best 5 midfielders. I mean, you do have Monconti there. Hatchard will probably be one of the forward players because that's what they do. Anderson's been alright. Too Good will be one of the All-Australians. See, like, the Prasparkas girls don't even get into the All-Australian, and they've been really good this year. That's how outstanding Marinoff, Gardiner, Gardiner, Rowbottom, and Riddell have been, that they've just dominated everything. So yeah, I'm hoping that they don't question it and just put her in the All-Australian, because it'd be really, really unfair if they just disregarded Gardiner with the season that she's had. Like, what is she? She had 19 touches in the first game, and that was an off game. 27, 41, 19, 33, 33, 27, 33. She's averaging, I don't even know how many disposals she's averaging. That's how crazy her year has been. If we look at her, actual, let's just see, stats-wise, she's averaging 29 touches a game, which is just ridiculous in itself. So yeah, there's that. And we'll just see. I'm just trying to see if there's any things for. They don't seem to do the females, which is a little bit annoying. So I'd like the AFL to actually do that so that you could see the females. But I'm pretty sure she's up there in terms of the highest disposal getters. I just want to see Marinoff's season average. Marinoff is averaging less disposals than Gardiner. So, I mean, if you wanted a pure ball winner, I guess it would have to be Gardiner or someone else. There's only a couple more that average, I think, more. Or maybe she might be top. I don't know exactly looking at the stats. Hurley here, you can see 24 touches, 8 tackles, 2 goals, 109. That was huge from her. Cynthia, 19, 4 and 5. Loves to give away a free kicks. Just loves the twos in the stat line, it looks like. 89 points from her, so she was really good. If we look at the quarter splits, Cynthia came alive in the third. So sort of the top 4 picked up from the rest of the top 5 picked up from when MOLLOY decided not to play in the third, and just all had huge quarters. So it was always someone going big alongside. Gardiner always was going big, and then you had MOLLOY in 3 quarters, and 3 of the quarters going big. You had Hurley in the middle 2 going big. Cynthia in the third. Heads just doing consistently. Montana Ham in the second as well, and then you had Steen in the fourth. Had Privatelli in the first. You know, someone always 3 or 4 girls going absolutely big in one of the quarters is a good sign. And I believe also another statistic was this was the first game the Swans have won all 4 quarters, which just shows how dominant they were. So yeah, Montana Ham 85, and yes, I'm really happy that she got out and went big, but I'm also really annoyed. The fancy person inside of me is like, don't do it, Hammy, this year, because I want her average to stay low. But what's her average at the moment? It's 48. That's getting up there. So Montana, if you want to just call the Jets just a little bit, just so that we can actually have you as an option next year, as I believe she will be. This is the type of player that I thought Montana would be, and I think she's building into it. As you see here, 68 time on ground, so a little bit lower than her last game, but just the points per minute was ridiculous, and yeah, so really happy about that. Just hoping she can just not do anything for the next little bit, because she will be such an asset next year. Tarrant, Steen, Privatelli, Smith, Barutson, Kennedy, Hamilton, Lachlan, Sergeant Williams as well, 2 goals from 9 touches. She's one for the future, I think. But the problem with her is she's probably not going to get any midfield time, just because you've got MOLLOY, Gardiner, Hurley, Ham in the midfield, to be honest. So I don't think she's sort of the 5th midfielder there. McAvoy, Mitchell, O'Sullivan, McCarthy, Woodward, and Shepherd got knocked out in the first little bit. I believe in the second quarter or something she got knocked. Third quarter she got knocked out with a tackle that could see her could see the person get suspended. Not really sure. I saw the tackle like once and decided not to watch it again. But yeah, we'll see about that. But anyway, that is the video. A longer video, but just because it's the Swans, and I wanted to walk through this game, I guess I should say, a little bit more depth than the other games. And yeah, just really, really happy with the way the Swans have gone about it. And really, really happy that they've actually put up some wins this year. I know a lot of people were saying that they're going to be bottom, the worst team in the comp, and that clearly isn't true. I'm pretty sure now, like we said, I'm pretty sure now they can only finish at worst fourth bottom. I mean, admittedly, West Coast could win against Essendon. Doubt that's going to happen. I doubt West Coast are going to win their last, was it 3 games or something like that, to snatch a place off the Swans, let alone the Swans dropping. I mean, West Coast have Western Bulldogs, so they might actually win that. And then they've got Adelaide. They ain't beaten Adelaide, so yeah. So I can tell you that the Swans are gonna finish at worst fourth bottom. And for a side that went 0-10 last year, fourth bottom isn't that bad. And admittedly now looking at it, GWS and Hawthorn need to gain like 30 and 40%. So they realistically cannot go lower than probably 13th. And they're currently in 11th. So 13th for the Swans isn't even that bad of a year. So yeah, just really proud of the girls and proud of the development that we've seen out of Heads, Moffat, even... Well, we knew Molloy and Gardiner were going to do their stuff. Hurley's had a couple of really stunning games. And then Hamilton's shown flashes again of what she did last year. So I think, yeah, you have game breakers in Molloy and Hamilton and Cynthia. And then you just have the ever-consistent Gardiner as well as Moffat when she was playing. So yeah, just really, I think they're building together a really strong midfield as well as putting pieces in the forward and back line. So I think they right now just probably need another key forward or something like that, just a target person. And that's nothing against some of the Swans forwards. I think that they can just use someone that they can kick it to more, who can really kick 2, 3, 4, can kick 2 or 3 games, and that is sort of what the Melbourne have got with Hort at the moment. I think if the Swans can find someone that can kick 2 goals a game consistently, that's where they'll become a top 5 side. But that is a year or 2 in advance. And anyway, that pretty much is a game recap plus my thoughts on the Swans AFLW team, I guess. But so be it. This will probably be titled something slightly different. But anyway, that's the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.